and I'm ready to do some urban stealth camping. I'm gonna get into the forest quickly because this is super suspicious with this humongous backpack, but I'll explain a little more about it, what I'm doing, and let's go camping. Alright, it's nice to be out of the wind and in the forest here, but we're still very close to people's homes. I can see someone's fence just right back there. So we're gonna move down here a little bit, get right into the forest, and I'll explain to you all the laws about stealth camping in this particular city and what we need to be looking out for and aware of. I found a spot where the main trail deviates and there's a little mountain biking trail. So we're gonna head down that way, a little less traveled, but there's still people around. So we're gonna be quick and quiet. Splits up here into a few different trails. I'm gonna take the one that goes away from all that traffic noise. This guy seems to be the main trail. I'm not the only one who's thought about camping out here. There is a sleeping bag. Looks like an old abandoned camp up there for someone. But we'll keep going because I don't want to be camping anywhere close to that. I know that there's a little bit more daylight left, a few hours, but in the forest it sure gets dark. I'm gonna find a spot sooner than later, get set up, and start cooking something to eat. Really marshy area, and I hope that doesn't mean a ton of mosquitoes, but it should be pretty cold tonight. Can't really see anything from the trail, so I'm gonna set up the hammock. It is really a dark green and black, so people shouldn't see it, especially once the sun goes down. This little guy is a Hennessy asymmetrical hammock, and I don't get to use it enough. Now, I'll clear a little bit underneath of it because we have beautiful things here called wild roses, and they are thorny and painful. So, I'll clear that out, and we'll have this all set up for a nice relaxing evening. I do hear a dog out there on the trail. A lot of people don't keep their dogs on a leash, so it's a very real possibility that a not so friendly dog might come running in here. Or they could be friendly, who knows? Oh boy. See, it's pretty still. And this is the asymmetrical hammock setup. This is a Hennessy hammock. You get into it from underneath through a little Velcro flap, and I'll do a tour in there later. But it should keep me nice and dry regardless of what the weather wants to do. We got the nice setup. I'm gonna head up to the trail and see just how obvious this is from the trail. Hopefully invisible. This was the original spot that I wanted to set up that was too close to the trail. But even from here, it's pretty hard to spot. From up here on the trail, you can just see it. Good thing it's not blue or anything. So, no fire tonight, but let's get down there and get comfortable and crack a beer. So from here, if I zoom in, you can see the top of the tarp there, but it does blend in quite nicely. So there's a creepy thing to find in the forest. I'm just saying. It is creepy and close by. People have definitely camped here before. Today's step 2, as it's affectionately known around here, is actually Happy Camper from the Nelson Brewing Company. I picked that up when I was in BC. And in order to thank the people that made this possible, I'm gonna have to give a shout out to Kelly M and Ismail M. Thank you guys for making the forest a little more comfortable. And these little folding tripod stool things, lifesaver, lifesaver. Because you never know what the terrain you're gonna have to set up on is. Set up in the nick of time with enough time to relax, get the stove set up. We're not having a fire tonight because that's just way too obvious being this close to the trail. But cheers. I don't know, craft beers always seem to go nuts with the hops. I don't mind it, but it's getting a little predictable. They all seem to be hop, hop, hop. Anyway, yum. While it is technically illegal to be camping out here secretly in the forest, nobody ever gets charged with it. As a matter of fact, there was a thing in the newspaper. Nobody has ever even gotten a ticket for it. Basically, they'll just tell you to move along. So I'm not really expecting too much trouble. The only thing they'd probably hassle me about is drinking a Happy Camper out here, because that's also not allowed in the city park. Anyway, Edmonton, which is where I'm camping and where I live, has, I believe, the largest urban park, largest uninterrupted urban park, and it stretches right through the city. A big, beautiful river valley, full of trails, and people like to walk their dogs, etc. So all of the really nice houses tend to be right around the river valley, which makes it a little bit tricky to get in, because I don't want to be camping in too nice of an area, because people get worried that somebody's camping 20 meters away from their mansion, and I don't want to camp in the really bad areas, because that causes more problems for myself, but other campers, that type of thing. So I found a decent area here, which I think should work. So if I brought my mosquito repellent, that would have been great. It was sitting in the car, and I looked at it, but I just didn't put it in my backpack. Anyway, I'm gonna start getting a nice little slow cooking meal here going, and it's really actually a pretty sweet setup how to do this without any campfire, any light, or nothing. So we'll get that going. What I've got for dinner today fits entirely inside one of these little takeout tray things, and I mean everything, including the stove to cook it with. So that's super neat. I'm excited about that. What I've got is, probably beautiful wife, one of these solid fuel camping fuel stoves. This comes with 24 pellets and the stove in there. They were closing them out a few years ago on sale, so I grabbed everything on the shelf. Also got some Uncle Ben's flavored rice. Today we'll be enjoying broccoli and cheddar flavor. The reason I got this is it requires no milk. It still gets a nice sauce to it. Only requires butter, which I brought. And to make it more of a meal, I'm adding some back bacon or Canadian bacon into the mix there. So I should be able to cook it right on there and be eating in no time. And good thing I brought some aluminum foil, because the mosquitoes are out and I don't want them in my food. Yum. The stove is really rudimentary. It pops open like so, and you set whatever on there you want. These are the solid fuel pellets. Each one burns about 12 minutes or so, I believe. And this can be adjusted for, you know, however you want to direct the heat. Super cheap things. I would assume they're basically a disposable item, but time to start this up and boil some water. These go by a lot of names. I've seen them as trioxane, solid alcohol, that type of thing. And when they burn, they really don't give off any smoke and very, very, very little light. See, where's my blowtorch when I really need it? Anyway. How many did I put in there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Very curious to see if this is going to boil any water and just how quickly. This recipe calls for 2 cups of water, which is basically one of these little water bottles. Suppose I should have leveled that out, but it'll tell me if 4 of these is enough to boil a little bit of water. It is truly incredible. 4 tabs have pretty well boiled a 2 cups worth of water. I'm gonna level this off a bit because it's freaking me out how unstable it is. But these fuel tabs, I can't believe I've never used these before. Holy moly, that boils water well. Try to even this out somehow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's hot. No kidding. Imagine that. That should do. I will throw in another tab because I'll simmer this. 2 more tabs. 2 for good luck. Is it gonna go? I don't know. Where did the lighter go? Yeah, I'll put them touching. That'll burn. Oh yeah, that's better. Much more level. So, Uncle Ben's. Ooh. Comes with a little flavor packet. The rice. Put in my pre-measured butter. No margarine, guys. Butter. It's the only way to go. Seasoning mix. Oh, that looks cheddary. And the rice. And this is not instant pre-cooked rice, it's actual real rice. Happy about this. Everything's coming up Steve today. Perfect. Yeah. Now we're talking. When I was leaving the house, I said, Steve, don't forget a knife. And Worst Camper of the Year award goes to... I did not bring the knife. So, I ain't gonna have a meatless dinner. I'll get in here somehow. I have technology. I'll make it happen. Okay, they've moved on. Now, I don't know if it's the thrill that I'm not actually allowed to be doing this technically, but this is actually pretty fun. It's a level of excitement. I don't have to worry about bears for once, because that was starting to become a little bit annoying. And this is cozy. I'm liking this, guys. Might have to head back to the car. I've forgotten a couple of things, but it'll be a nighttime adventure, and we'll get this all set up for the night and hunker down. You've noticed I'm using a plastic spoon. That's just an emergency situation, because a spoon was on my list along with a knife. So don't follow my example. But these cooking tabs, to cook one of these took 10 cooking tabs, If this was a dehydrated, pre-cooked meal where you just add water, I could have cooked it with probably 5 or so. So it takes about twice as much to cook just a normal over-the-shelf sidekick style side dish. Anyway, that's looking pretty good to me. Threw the lid on the dinner to keep it nice and warm for now. And yeah, these just burn down to really nothing, just little ash, completely cool. And I used 10 of them. Just like so. She folds. She's supposed to fold right back up. Yeah. Very convenient, very convenient. That is a meal. Hearty enough for a hungry guy that just hiked for the first time in quite a while. It's quite good. Any of those little side dish things, just perfect for camping. Add a few ingredients. So simple. Yeah. Ooh, I hear somebody. They can probably smell my delicious food. I'm going to get my sleeping bag into the hammock before it gets too dark to do that. Oh, great. There was the fork. Huh. Okay. It's a downfilled, so I gotta fluff it up a little bit. And it's gonna be cold tonight. That's gonna be 7 degrees Celsius overnight. In Fahrenheit, that is, I'll figure it out and put it up, but it'll probably 40 degrees or something like that. And this bag feels pretty light, so get this in here. Mummy bag. Now I've eaten, the sun hasn't set yet, but it sure is a little dark in the forest here. I can see the sun shining up there. I'm gonna head back up to the trail, take another little look around and see just how exposed I actually am. This is a lot of sitting still and being quiet, and if the sun goes down soon, which I hope it will, I gotta have a little fire out here, like a really little one. That little stove that I was cooking on, I put little twigs in there just to give it the ambience of camping. So let's forget about all our problems and go exploring and have a little fire. Right, there's people right down there walking a dog. Gotta be quiet. There's other people up the trail here. I'm gonna take a sneak peek, see how obvious I look from the trail now that it's a bit darker. Yeah, no chance anybody is gonna see me in there unless a dog runs over if he smells me or the delicious food. Anyway, I'm gonna see. Oh, great. I am disturbingly close to this house. And those are nice houses too. I best be quiet and keep a low profile, get back in my forest. Perfect. I've turned my flashlight on and I want to see if that can be seen from the road, just to tell how stealthy I am. Up here on the trail, if I look into the forest, I can see a little bit of light through there, but not a lot. Yeah, I should probably keep that off as much as possible. It's not quite camping unless you've got a little fire, and little is the key word here. Got small sticks, and I'm using one of these pucks. I'm gonna start this thing, and this is burning inside my cooking stove. Keep it nice and small and under control. Right on. That looks very, very promising. I'm going to start sprinkling in my smaller pieces. That one's a bit big. And it's late enough that any sort of smoke smell could be normal coming from somebody's chimney for their fireplace or whatnot. But we've got a cute little fire going. And that's going to keep me company for a bit. Oh, the relaxing nighttime sirens. Okay, time to crawl in for the night and hunker down. This thing, you get in through the bottom, and yeah. I'm gonna crawl in here and resume the video. Okay, here I am. Shoes are coming off. Right underneath of the beautiful tarp here. And when you get into this thing, it snaps shut right on the bottom, and I can get right into the sleeping bag. I'm hunkered down for the night in the hammock. I got my bear spray here, and I am ready to go to bed. See you guys in the morning. Oh, the joys of the city. Dogs barking. So, I'm gonna try and cook up some breakfast as soon as I get out of this bed. It was a little cold last night. It's quite cold actually, but made it. I'll try a little bit of breakfast to see what I can do, and then we'll get out of here. Because dogs everywhere. They just won't stop barking. Yesterday, this seemed like a real good idea when I was in the store. Today, I don't know if it's gonna work, but I got one of these frozen burritos, and I said, frozen breakfast burrito, it's got eggs and everything in it. And I said, yeah, that'll thaw overnight, and then in the morning it'll be in good condition, which it is. And I thought, I'll wrap it in aluminum foil and throw it onto that stove. Except, judging from the stove yesterday, I think it's gonna burn it. But I'm gonna put it on anyways. Worst case, it only cost $1, so we're gonna try this. Now, these things take a bit of convincing to light, but not that much, I guess. Could be worse. So I really put a lot of foil on this because I'm very sure
I'm just thinking back to yesterday when I saw the water boiling. I'm very sure this thing will get burned unless I'm quick on the draw. Yeah. I gave it lots of foil too. Lots of foil. Lots of foil. And turning it a whole bunch is also going to be helpful. Okay. Did I call that or what? So if I had something like a frying pan, that would have worked perfectly. But this is still quite edible. Not a problem with this. Cooked a bit unevenly for sure. But beats doing dishes, right? It was $1. Perfect for an overnight camping trip. I'm gonna consume my burrito and rip this all down. Get back home, because I gotta edit this up. It's Thursday and I want to do Thursday videos. But if you've watched this far, you may as well just subscribe. Like, you've watched this far, really. And I appreciate it if you do. And I'll try to keep these up. My goal is weekly. Sometimes work and life and all that get in the way and I can't, but that's the goal anyway. And there's people out there, I can definitely hear them. Yeah, they sounded real close by on that trail. Gotta be a little more quiet. Anyway, I'll finish this up and we're gonna get out of here. Bear spray. Didn't need it. Always good to have. I like convenient stuff. In fact, I deal with convenient stuff exclusively. Yeah. Just like that, guys. No granny knots for this guy. I'd be there till next week untying it. So yeah, the whole hammock thing like bundles up into quite a small little thing. Got that there. Bring my garbage with me because there's a reason people aren't allowed to do this, because somebody ruined it for the rest of us. So by being responsible, I can at least try to not make it worse for anybody else that wants to do this in the future. Okay. People up there, but as far as I'm concerned now, I'm not a camper. I'm just a photographer out in the forest. It's like a marathon. Huh. All right. Anyway, out of here, and not a moment too soon. So thanks for watching this vid, guys, and until the next video, you're camping with Steve, and I got some neat plans for the next ones, so stay tuned, guys. There's always more stuff like this, usually better than this, but